Hey guys, I went in, I had to go and take a nap. And now it's like 4 hours later. Damn, and I was hoping, I wanted to be there when that thing uploaded. I don't know, maybe it just isn't, maybe it ain't important, but I always want, oh wow, I think like, oh wow, I just made something the coolest thing, and but, I know better. But, listen, I did get the one guy to write me and say something. One of them, I guess this was the one where I was reading about Enoch. And whenever I was reading it, you could see this code popping out. So I knew right away what it was. I knew it was another myth. And so he says, oh, you're only looking for those things, and that's as far as you're going. Each one of these things that I'm going after, I am going after some juggler, because I want to make it interesting. God knows that something in Micah or in Jonah or Ruth, there might be something cool. Ruth is only about this long. It's only a page or two, so that's probably 3 or 4 days. So you only do it. Listen, even if I do just one, it takes about 12 hours to do. So I'm just choosing certain things. Listen, I read the back of the book first. I started talking about, what do you call that? The end of times. I want to get that. I want to nip that in the bud. I want to know that I'm not going to wait until I get to the end. Look at this, man. That's a huge-ass Bible. Look, it's little. This is what we use in St. Peter's Church. Just little, but it's got the whole Bible in here. And we have only gone descendants of Noah, Abram, and the lost, and Lot. We haven't even gone to Abram and Lot yet. Genesis 10. Oh, yeah, we are. Well, right now, we're way back here someplace, because we did get described who Lot was and stuff like that. But that's really only about 8 or 9 pages in, and I skipped in, and so, before I even started, I went right to the back. I want to know how things ended. And that's where I got my crying and all that out, and that's where I learned that there's something else afoot here. That, that this is just a crack in this huge-ass book, because it centers around the idea that religion is really the scourge of the earth. That, and you would think, without religion, well, where would we be? Where would we get our morals from and stuff? Well, where are we? Where are our morals? Where are they? Just because you put something down and you can't obtain these things, they become more of a concept that as long as no one's watching, I can do all this other stuff. Oh, but God is watching. They tell you He's watching. Well, that God is actually you. It is watching. It knows, and you can lie to it, and you do, and a lot of people do. They just lie and lie and lie, or they're just too busy. So if you don't have to reflect on it, you don't have to lie. You don't have to have an opinion. So this is you selling out to the world around you. But the world around you can be a lot of fun. But, listen. Religion is going to kill us all. Just because thousands of years worth of killing, people have, I'm talking about, Islam. The radical side of it is murderous, it's absolutely murderous. And the Sharia law and the ideas, everyone says, there's some kind of war against religion because they're trying to take some of these things out, and Baphomet is showing up and stuff like that. Hey, listen, this is the world telling you that, hey, we've been in this, in this quagmire cesspool all the time. And if this is the end of time, it's because it's a capping off of some kind. That, we've just, had enough. They got what they wanted from us, whoever they are. and now you're getting to know too much, and this internet and stuff is just going crazy and stuff, too much knowledge, And here I'm telling you right now that this is the basis for all the control this is how we get people to hate each other. This is how we separate from one another. This is what's caused us to kill a bunch of Indians and a bunch of people and a bunch of this for our way. So it's our thinking and our mind, and so it's just this idea of consumption and going through and taming the land. You're supposed to tame your mind. Instead, they're out killing and taming and ruining and destroying. This is the God that they represent and act like. The God that kills and destroys things. This is not a father. This is a man. And that's mankind. That's what kills things. Not God. And what this guy was telling me was that here I am trying to clean up certain things. I'm cleaning the whole thing up, every bit of it. I'm taking the pain out. I'm taking the blood out, and I'm taking this idea that God kills things. The whole thing, what he does is he cures things. He helps things. He makes things even. He's not getting even. He's making you even. He's clean. And because they're put out in this dark sayings, and I want to be like God. So the three religions of Abraham, when read fundamentally, make three different war gods. And because they're working off of the surface of the text, makes all three of those gods men. A man. Amen. Men. Not God. If there's an Elohim that's split, you'll have to understand that it's the mother side that saves. When she and father are together, not as husband, not as wife, a man and wife, but as mother and father. This is the strong connection. And this is what helps that mind to stop destroying. And because it's cleaned and out the inside, it's working together with her that makes everything good. And all these three religions, fuck her. She's the bitch. She's the whore. And they don't like her. So all three of these religions are on the negative side of this energy, whatever you want to call it. And it has absolutely nothing to do with the beautiful divine side that saves you. This is what you are saved from. And so without you being able to ever clean up and to know this knowledge is to make you one really filthy, stupid idiot that will believe anything. If you can believe talking snakes and virgin births, and here we are in this century, all grown up with our minds as they are, and still be just as dumb and ignorant and stupid when it comes to God and ourselves. Excuse me. To know God is to know yourself, and you have to know yourself in order to know this God. And if you're just too busy, you'll never know. That's your will, But if you want to know, then you will slow down some. You'll make the time to do nothing. You will be this Martha and Mary, the parable of Martha and Mary, where she is busy, and she has all these guests coming over, and Mary, or one of the two, is sitting there with Jesus and petting him and loving him and doing nothing. And she says, Jesus, make her help me. I got work to do. I got things to do. And she's just sitting around stroking on you. Come on, get a room. No, he says, no, she's doing what she wants to do. She's doing fine. She's serving the Lord. And you have to do nothing to serve the Lord, because the one's just too busy. This is what happens. So, it's very well known already in the scripture that it's already going to be like this, but there's still some way, to to maintain this richness inside of you by just working it out. And to see that if you really looked underneath all three of those Bibles and think, as I am taking apart these Bibles, they all say the same thing. Come home. Come home. You know? How simple a message that for centuries we've been fighting over each other and killing each other and destroying animals and the world around us, looking and searching for this God when it was inside of us all the time. We're the beast that we should be conquering. You know? Get emotional. This deserves this religion, this beast of a religion, at least in my mind, and in my thoughts and in symbolism, deserves that two-edged and that many-edged sword of truth from one of us. Jesus is out here, right in its heart, and take it down. That's my aim, all right? Because you can only serve two masters. You'll serve one and despise the other. And I'm really learning to despise this other. Just from the destructive standpoint of it, you know? But we have to learn how to have some kind of compassion and stuff because people just don't know. But I'm telling you this, you know, I know. I'm teaching other people to know this, and you need to have the balls and the gumption of yourself to discern on yourself. Is this true or not? I'll be chewing up the Bible, chewing it up, and chewing up. How much do you need? How much do you need? I don't need. It only took me one of those things to break down, and it's just wild, you know. This is the earthquake. Look at the lies and look at the crap we've been living under, and we need to stop all that. You know? Anyways. I'm never going to take back anything I've said. You know, once you're connected, it's ridiculous to have to go back to the outside world and be a part of them. I have to survive. You may not see me all the time here because I got to make some money. But, I'm back. I'm always going to be this side of things, you know, and my time is to spread light. And as you grab and hold on to this light and you nurture it and you feed it with good food, with good fish, when you feed from the right side of the boat, you feed it with some good nourishing food, you're conscious, your Christ consciousness. It's not like you having a child and stuff, you know. You don't really have a child, but you have this birth of a lighted consciousness that'll come to your aid when you need it, and it's growing as you grow, you know. And so and the light you're like a beacon, and you can shine that light all around. And don't be afraid that's a beautiful thing to participate. And it doesn't mean go and getting involved. It just means be yourself. Be yourself. Learn how to turn that light on. And when you go out there in the world, it just like helps everything out. And you got to believe that, even though you can't see it, you know. But it just shows how simple it is. You know, when you got to believe in that outside of the Bible, like mankind's got you believing in, you know, and they're going to take us out with them. Doesn't matter, you know. But it's the idea of incarnating and coming back again, because there is a life side of us that can't be killed, can't be corralled in hell, and cannot be corralled in heaven. This is our corral, is where we're at right now. We're learning things on this playground of the plain, as we run around in the forests, you know, and traipse and have a great old time in the Earl of Chaldees, you know. Come on, you guys. It's the only place in the whole universe where all of these things can manifest for us as products of light associated with matter. And the only thing that we have to do to keep matter from taking its own route is by leashing it, putting them both together and working all three of us as one. And that keeps us from running wild. That's all. So our civilization's run wild. It's probably done that many, many times. Because people are born ignorant. And they're taught to hate at an early age. And for 2,000 years, it's hard to get. How many generations do you have to go through to get rid of something like racism? How many generations do you have to go through before there's no more people hating women, or because they were now equal? How many generations do we have to go through before we feel better about the internment of foreigners during war times? How about when are we gonna? How many generations will it be before we can forget about killing and raping this country of its former inhabitants, so that we can come around and destroy it? How many generations? How many generations do we have to go through where we forcibly put our opinions into another world, another country's world, and destroy them as well? How many generations will they have to go through to get rid of their hatred for us, for having hatred for them? And how many generations will it take to flush this Bible out of us? To flush this taste of blood and this taste of hate and this ignorance? What are we going to do about that? How about one brain at a time? Go tell a friend, pass it on, see what they can do to help clean out their minds before they die, so that when they come back around again, there'll be just less badness in the world. Good night. And good night. I love you guys, and best to you. Alright? And this is the good honest truth from me,